Doom and gloom.
But,
Doom and gloom.
Oh no!
You see, that's stupid,
Let's
but I
not
can
get
watch
that,
that. It's funny.
Earworm in our head.
I've got Matchtalk Men and
let me
Matchtalk
switch
Cats and
this
Dogs in my head because I picked
Private to public.
happened to come across an old Top of the Pops last night.
Yeah.
And that was number one at the time.
You probably don't remember Grandad first time round, Ross, do you?
Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Right.
I am that old.
You must have only been about 4 then.
I wasn't very old. Clive Dunn, Magic. Don't worry, Captain Madrid.
Clive Dunn was only about 37 when he did
That's
that.
Right,
You
know? Yeah. He looked like a granddad, but he was like half my age.
It was great, really. Don't tell him, Pike.
Yep.
Good morning, everybody. Come on in. We see you out there. We're just tending to business, being transparent here. So
we're just being our usual kooky selves.
Well, actually, we're just waiting for Scott Roseman to show up.
I'm just going to lie down for 3 weeks.
Yeah,
I won't miss him.
Night, guys. I'll see you later. Yeah.
He said he would be here. He said he would be here.
Yeah.
You see, he would try to be here.
Neville Chamberlain said peace for our time as well.
No, you know, we had that for a short while. Well, no, not really.
Not really. No.
It's always been wars.
Come
on in, folks. We see you out there. Yeah, hit that like, hit that love button. It's time for Sunday Funnies. Come on in, folks. We're looking at HAWKS again by Gil Kane.
It's funny. And it's
3 weeks running on Starhawk.
The 3rd week in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know it's a real tragedy about this strip that we're looking at, about as well as everything else? Is that in those days people didn't have so many photo scanning devices, did they? So they couldn't do the pencils. You know, we can't see the pencils on it.
Yeah. So many pencils are lost from the old days, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're all erased.
I mean, to go right back, I'd love to see Leonardo's pencil sketch of the Mona Lisa. You know, see how much he puts in on the paint.
Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet. Yeah. I could get behind that.
Whiskey. Sorry, it took me so long to get the link to you. I forgot all about it.
He was like the hell with that guy.
I was trying to get my camera set up, so that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
I don't mind at all, Randy.
At least you're here. And we're running the opening. Here we go. Here, not there. Here we go.
We're not waiting for Scott.
Anyway, I'm gonna replace that with Muttley's snicker here.
Yeah,
as soon as I find it.
That would actually be pretty cool. I can find that.
Give me a medal. Give me a medal.
Yeah. Come on in, folks. We're looking at Starhawks, the complete series, as Hermes Press printed it way back when. It's a late 1970s series by the great Gil Kane and Ron Goulart, written by Goulart, or scripted, I should say. Most of it's probably Kane. Archie comes in later. And we're just wondering where Charles and Scott and C and all those other folks are today, but we don't need them. We can just talk without them.
We don't need them.
We don't need those people.
Scott Roseman, who's he?
Are always welcome here whenever they
Nobody knows.
Wake up enough to show up. So he's still surviving Thanksgiving.
Sort of still surviving.
The Great Turkey Massacre of 2023.
Building something there, Russ. Is that what it is?
What?
Somebody sounded like somebody was banging around back there. So
banging? No, I haven't been banging.
He's
Yeah,
building a scale model.
Wrong banging. This is chapter 6, Racker's Brain. There we are, and we're back to the great, wonderful Rangers headquarters, sitting in space, and the ever-loving robot dog as humor relief. Anybody?
I think the mustache is more humor relief than the dog.
There we are.
That mustache is brilliant.
John Celestri. Yeah.
A real man took a mustache like that.
That's right. You have to work very hard to get a mustache like that.
Yeah. What's if you made a film of it, you'd have to get Magnum to play it, wouldn't you?
Magnum PI.
Yeah. What's he called?
Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck. Yeah.
Tom Selleck.
The unluckiest man in Hollywood.
Check out my mustache.
The unluckiest man in Hollywood.
Yeah.
He was supposed to be Indiana Jones.
Yeah, he could have been Indiana Jones.
That's right, yeah. But he didn't go on strike, and then they could have made it anyway or something. He turned it down because he had a contract, and then they went on strike, and it lasted 8 weeks, and they could have made the film in that time.
Didn't as long as it wasn't the contract to make that film about hunting robots.
Oh, I've not seen that.
Oh, it's bloody.
Oh,
awful.
what is that? Runner?
Something like that. Yeah.
Logan's Run?
No, not Logan's
No,
Run.
not Logan's Run.
It's a classic, though.
It really is, because Gene Simmons is the villain in it.
It's awful.
Really great over the top acting as Gene Simmons does.
I think it's one thing turning down a film and thinking, I missed out on that, but turning it down to do a different film that was just hideous.
Yeah.
I just hope he didn't do that.
Oh, that was
Travolta.
Reynolds, right? Runaway.
Runaway.
That sounds about right.
Travolta did the same. Travolta did the same because Richard Gere owes his career to John Travolta. John Travolta, just after Grease, he turned down Yanks. Gere did that. And then he turned down Officer and a Gentleman. Who did that? And then he turned down American Gigolo. And who did that?
I have to say, I couldn't imagine he'd do any. I just can't imagine him doing a good job of it.
I quite agree, but he turned them down.
Yeah.
The other guy went stellar, so there you go.
I can't see anybody else in that role, especially Officer and a Gentleman.
Yeah,
and Richard Gere, he did really good in that.
I read somewhere, just before we get into this, before we get...
Start discussing film.
Okay.
Do you know? Just before we get into this, let me just finish on this Hollywood thing, because this is amazing. Apparently, allegedly, before Bob Redford and Paul Newman were cast as Sundance Kid, and how good is that?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know who they offered it to? Those parts. Frank Sinatra and Marlon Brando.
Bloody hell!
Wow, that would have been a different movie, wouldn't it?
That'd have been a shambles, wouldn't it?
I think Rush said it all with that. That's bloody hell. That's the best way of describing that.
That would have been a small miracle, even getting that movie finished.
Yeah.
Yeah, they wouldn't have any of the Oh, I should remember what the hell the thing's called. The basically the food service thing.
Catering.
Yeah, the catering. Brando would have eaten everything.
They would have eaten all the rolls.
Nom.
I like a roll in the morning. Quick, Vinny, get me a roll.
He was supposed to have some scenes, I think, in Scary Movie, and they had to cut him because all he was doing was eating from the catering table.
Scott, the link is in the Sunday Funnies discussion group on Facebook. It always
like it normally is,
there.
Scott. You'd know that if you came here often enough.
Right where you were at before, saying that you were going to pop in today.
Get your backside in there, Scott.
Now I have to figure which Susie Rosema account I need to send this link to. Here we go. Let's try that one. See if that works. Is that the one? let me know, buddy. You're always welcome here.
Did you say these were produced on comic pages just turned on the side?
Yep.
Yeah, they're
The
10,
proportions? 10 by 11.
15 by 10, 15 wide
15
by 10 tall. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
10 inches, that is.
Yeah.
Makes
It's
a difference.
probably your standard 11 by 17 board.
Yep.
Yeah.
Uh,
Is that all right? Can we see that all right through the lighting?
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah, it's great.
Perfect.
Because I cut that reflection light out.
What you can do though, true to form, Randy, is mess it up now.
Working on it.
give him time.
We haven't got time. Nearly finished.
We haven't got time.
Harsh but fair.
Very, very harsh.
It's kind of the best part of the show, to be honest, when Randy's
But when Randy
To laugh
messes
at
it
Randy's, Randy's transparency. Yeah, okay.
It's action.
Just for that, there's another 4 panels.
Oh, look at
Ah,
With ahoy.
just look. Yeah.
Hoy.
boy.
The whole
Hoy.
panel too.
You
That
know
was the
that.
hardest panel to do.
You know that said. Oh, you forgot the last panel, Gil, but they put
Boy,
that. Cut the last bit off.
set the dogs on him.
No.
Got to get
I do
this
love
in the
that.
post as fast as possible. Oh, yeah, hoy. There we are.
I do. The
Boy.
first 2 panels on that strip are amazing. Though I love the
Yeah.
the worm's eye view, then into the bird's eye view.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I love the way on the first sequence there, where the panel is at 45 degrees. I love the way he uses the panel.
Yeah.
You know, with the guy bending over who's hit, and then she's behind him.
Yeah. It's just it sits. It's
And then
perfect.
she shoots him in the back.
And it's like the camera or the view
Well, you
just
hope
slips
it's the
down
back.
to the left, doesn't it? As it happens, if you look at the top panel and then down, just
I
moves,
really
You look on
moves
the-
down.
You look on the strip on the top right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She has a very uncomfortable top on.
Yep. I would not wear that.
That's not good. That's got to be uncomfy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have much experience in that department, Russ?
Yeah, all the time. Having larger pectoral muscles, I often have to wear a brassiere.
It's all the buns rolls.
It's the old cross your heart commercial. It lifts and separates.
Playtex, cross your heart bra, lifts and separates.
Then all
I
of a
have
s-
so many comments. I'm just not going to go there.
and then all of a sudden the lights go out on the next panel.
Hoi hoi.
Hoy. Hoy.
Wait.
Vince
Dave
Collector-
Alicia says Gil Kane inks on this as well. We were debating that last episode. I think there's a lot of Howard Chaykin in this.
Yeah. The answer
know,
is yes.
Maybe. Probably.
Look at the panel where the lights have gone out. Vince Collector did that one on a
Yes,
to
he
meet
did.
the deadline.
Yep.
And he probably did the Hoy one as well.
Yeah.
It was just black when he sent it in.
That had like 10 figures in that panel, and he just like blocked it all out.
It's
Lights went
fully-
out, Gil. Sorry.
Well, we're being a little mean to. Oh, it's true.
fully detailed. Is he going to get mad? Anyway, fully detailed here.
Oh,
On
God,
the
I'm
silhouette.
sorry. Oh, it's so good.
Oh,
This is a
look there.
continuation of Friday, isn't it? Is he going to get mad?
I could see
Oh,
Chaykin.
dear.
He apprenticed with Kane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot
Yeah,
of
I think-
Chaykin inks in this. There's a little bit of Neil Adams ink in this as well. So,
Yeah, I think the girl, particularly with that hair, that's a very Chaykin style, that hair.
Yeah.
mhm.
But it's very good.
Oh, this is all great stuff.
It's just-
So, yeah.
It's excellent.
Even,
isn't it?
even when we pick on the silhouettes and the Hoys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're only teasing. Look at that whap. Look how the way the view is from the worm's eye. Then he's bent him so you can see him kicking that thing.
Yep.
It's brilliant. Not intimidated by the space, is he? Gil Kane.
No, his layouts are great. I love them.
David says, yes, Adams. I love Kane's women hands. Yeah. We just love this stuff in general, David. That's why we love to show it off, especially his space stuff with all of the buildings and the the spaceship's all made out of basic shapes piled on top of one another. It's like as if he has a set of blocks in his studio. Well, this will look good on top of that, would look good on top of this. And
Just a couple of wooden like play toy block things.
yeah, we'll just put it all on a plate. It'll be great. Here we go. It's like they're we were looking at the space station earlier. That's a table.
I think you've just got good solid drawing. Just somebody who can draw. It's as simple as that, you know. And
Very much so.
Spotting these blacks, it's, you know, it's up there with Wally Wood spotting blacks, isn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What is that thing he's kicking? Sorry, Whiskey. What is that thing he's kicking?
Who's kicking?
He's kicking there, the guy going, what's he kicking? On the last panel, the last page, strip.
Second panel.
It looks like he's trying to kick the thing to
It says these gadgets need a delicate nudge sometimes, so it boots it. There we go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, kicking the thing in the middle. It's like a central.
Yeah, that's how you fix everything, right? You know, they're all the same. Made in Taiwan.
Kick it.
That's what Alan Bean did on the moon when he whacked that camera and it came on.
Yep.
He said, "What do you do?" He said, "I hit it with the hammer," because he got frustrated. It worked.
Such a good trope, though.
Oh.
You can see it everywhere. Like it's in the. I was just watching it recently in the Back to the Future films where he's starting the car floods, and he's like, you know, smacks his head off the steering wheel, and then
it turns on.
Yeah. Anyways, I was saying that the silhouette there is that first panel just before the kick is really nice.
Yeah,
it's a great show, the John Byrne, and I got that Toth book because of y'all. Thank you, David. That's why we love showing this stuff off.
No,
Mr. Max is in the house. Max,
oh no, it's Max. Look out!
We're doomed.
Okay, Max. Not going to fall asleep today, are you?
You all right this morning?
Yeah, I'm all rested up.
Good. We don't mind if you want a kip.
We only pick on you because we love you.
It's all good. Everyone, I'll fall asleep on everyone's stream. That's my thing.
That's $1 million right there.
Yeah. Wow.
Eyes? We don't need to draw eyes. No, they're little dots. There are little dots in there. Yeah. Still looking at Starhawks, Max.
I see that. It's pretty cool.
And you're positive this time? You're seeing it and your eyes aren't just closed?
Yeah.
Sure.
Look at that panel there where those guys are going down that sort of elevator thing, and then they just walk on the.
I was literally just gonna say that.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really cool. I wish they had elevators that actually did that.
Yeah.
Granted, when they fail, it's a lot scarier.
Yeah.
I mean, generally speaking, you just get stuck in the elevator for a little bit, and hopefully the person that you're stuck in there with didn't have beans for lunch.
Yeah. Oh, come on, Scott. Where are you?
Scott. Great Scott.
I sent it to the wrong one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get Scott Tracy coming on.
Yeah. Some great machinery there.
Just leave me alone. Yeah, you can see Chaikin in this, can't you, with the hair and stuff.
You sure can, yeah.
It's good stuff, though, isn't it?
It's another great bird's eye view on the bottom one on the left, first panel. I like that. You got the tech in there. You got the people kind of looking around.
Yeah.
And you got
yeah.
Your other left. Yeah, that one. So
that one. That is a great overhead shot.
In that last panel, Sorry, go ahead.
So far, the facial expressions have been pretty good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Usually
that's-
that's. Go ahead.
No, all right. Anyways, the last panel there with the magic wires or whatever. What's going on with that? Like the machine alive or?
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what happens when you open up the box and you don't know what's going on inside. You let all the purple magic smoke out.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is it smoke or is it a machine doing its wiry?
Oh
It's
no, I was just being I was making a comment. It's the
It's
machine.
the Omega effect from
Yeah.
New Gods.
Oh my god.
Yep. Yeah, no,
Again,
I meant it more as just a tech joke. It's like, oh, you let the magic smoke out. Now it's not working anymore. It does weird things.
What a great strip is this, though. Overhead shot, really odd angle, little tighter shot, and then inside the duct there that she's leaning into.
Yeah, I like that too.
Just a great strip
She's,
right there.
she's got a strange arm, though, hasn't she? On that, when she's firing into that hole, it looks like she should be Mrs. Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a bit odd, isn't it? It's like, so if you've got Gil Kane, one of the greats, Howard Chaykin, one of the greats, and Neil Adams, one of the greats, and they all managed to mess up that arm. Not good.
Now they're on a deadline. That's their story, and they're
That's
sticking
not
to
an
it.
excuse. But there's not when there's those three on it. There's no excuse.
You call that an arm? Yeah.
If they didn't do the arm that long, though, you wouldn't be able to get the cross hatching in the back. They're all perfectly squared and symmetrical.
Yeah, spent
There you
more
go.
time on the cross hatching than they did on the arm. So long as shoulder blade she's got. Oh no!
God,
You got Rosema
No!
walking
Yeah.
towards his camera. There you are.
There he
How you
is,
Speaking
doing?
of the greats,
the Scarlet Pimpernel himself.
That's a classic entrance there. Looking at some kind of board. and
pleased to
comes
meet you. Well, now we can finally have a real show. Let me tell you guys how to do this.
There you are. Yeah.
I was just remembering the last time I came in when Russ said, "Oh bloody hell, he's not back 2 minutes. He's always trying to run things."
Yeah.
To be frank, I miss it when you're not here because it's just chaos.
Well, I imagine. I'll try to whip all these ne'er-do-wells into shape. Don't you worry. I'll take
He
it.
comes in 20 minutes late to make an entrance,
Yep.
That's a Scott thing.
and then ducks out 10 minutes before the end. That's how you make your mark.
Hey,
Then in between, just criticize everybody. That's the way you do it.
like Frank Sinatra says, I gotta be me. I just gotta be
God.
all together now.
Starhawks by Gil Kane, Scott.
Yeah, boy, the greatest thing about Gil Kane was that he had me fooled for a lot of years, because when I first saw his stuff, and then I saw later on Bridgman's anatomy books, I thought Bridgman was ripping off Gil Kane. I had no idea how old Bridgman was, and you can just see that same blocky construction that they both used. It's just awesome.
Really long arms.
Yeah.
Those arms are exactly the length they're supposed to be.
Spaghetti arm.
Yeah, no. Shit happens.
I miss plastic, man.
Now, where was Starhawks initially run? Was it a newspaper thing, or was it?
Oh yeah, it was syndicated newspaper by NEA Syndicate, same guys who distributed Alley Oop.
Man, I can't. I never saw it in print. That would be so awesome.
Yeah, it popped in about late '77, mid '78, as a cheap syndicate way to cash in on Star Wars, as everybody was doing at that point.
Oh yeah, I imagine.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Each one of these pages, each one of these squares is a daily page, and they ran them the size of 2 daily strips.
Oh man,
I don't know if they charged the syndicate twice as much. I bet they didn't. They probably charged them the same amount as a regular daily strip in order to get them to carry it. But one of the last, if not the last, original adventure strips that was done here in America.
Isn't that amazing that you'd think something like this would have helped revitalize? Because I just can't imagine anybody who saw this just wasn't just absolutely taken by it.
That's probably
Just
what they were
amazing.
hoping. Yeah.
Hoping to sell newspaper subscriptions.
No counting for taste.
Well,
Exactly.
also, it looks like it'd be a 2-up, so that would take up more space, which also would annoy a lot of the newspapers.
Oh, I know, and it's so crazy because when I worked for the local newspaper, you know, whenever they're talking about how to maximize space and all this, the first thing they did was start shrinking the strips. It's just
Yeah.
crazy.
Yep.
You know, it takes up one page of the newspaper, and that's the part they want to try and shrink to make more room. Really? And yet they would admit they can't stop running certain strips because there'd be a riot.
Yeah.
And yet, heaven forbid you should respect the space that was originally done in. Heaven forbid that.
They need that space for advertising revenue.
No, I know. It just drove me crazy.
I just want a newspaper that's only comic strips.
You could probably do that if you want.
Yep.
Used to almost do that for about a decade.
Well, what was that? There was
There is still a comic strip news paper out there, and I think the Menominee Falls Gazette still runs on subscriptions.
Yeah.
Menominee, yes. Yes. Exactly. Menominee.
What are we singing now?
Only until we get struck.
You could say it with their name. Her name is Tammany. You could do the same thing with Tammany. That's probably
Scott
what was on his
Rosen.
mind.
Scott Rosen. That's the Scott Rosen theme tune that we all got to sing every time Scott comes on.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's good.
Scott comes on. We get.
We won't have to sing it very often, then, will we?
I've got my own theme song. Oh my god!
Yep.
The Rosama. The
Just see
Rosama.
that- You just see that same intro, Scott Rosen coming in like Bill Nye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, today, kids, we're going to look at something innocuous.
Today, kids, I'm going to indoctrinate you with some more crap.
Yeah, we're gonna show you how to get struck by a copyright.
She is plastic, man. There, that arm is incredibly shortened.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? And that's not foreshortening because they're quite thin. Still, he's on a time limit.
Let's just blame Chaikin.
At the same time, like it looks cool, so it doesn't
Damn
matter.
you, Howard!
You put a nasty note in the chat. What are you talking about me for? Get me out of this.
You could have just lowered the elbow, and it would have been fine.
Yeah, but once you've inked it, it's like ship it. Do you know what I mean? It's done. Ship
the
it.
head's too big, isn't it?
They're all on deadline, and the neck's a little long too. But that's a whole nother story.
With
It's
the
just
little,
plastic, man.
Ship it.
Now we're
wearing a
picking on their
necklace?
anatomy. Sorry, folks.
Ship it.
is
Ship
that a
it.
necklace or just like this neck fold thing?
Yeah. Well, I understand that problem. There are so many parts of me that are way too long, but like my feet. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Sure. My hands. Yeah.
The views and opinions expressed within the video content found on the Indie Comics Network are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of the Indie Comics Network or its sponsors.
Or their schlongs.
Come on, I don't
coming
think
in
that's going
like
to protect us.
Scott's rolling in like Boney M.
Rasputin. Oh, yeah.
Look at that, folks. Just great stuff.
I'm glad you guys got that reference.
That first strip there, that elbow, that's a real Gil Kane elbow, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Wait. Oh yeah. That's a Gil Kane.
That's a real Green
forearm
Lantern.
elbow. Yeah, along
real-
with a Gil Kane up the nose shot. You gotta have those.
Yeah.
They're funny. I still remember that one great drawing of Batman in one of the books that Adams did, almost exactly mimicked that look.
Right.
Neil was so famous for just riffing off of any artist he admired or
That's a homages. Those aren't ripping off.
No, did I say rip off?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking about Russ's work. I'm sorry.
You're funny.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Look, everybody's entitled to be an idiot.
And I'm as entitled as anybody.
It's definitely gonna be one of those shows.
Another silhouette there on the hand.
They're the best ones.
Yeah. Give
I think
Howard
people come
something
for
to
the
eat.
art. So go ahead.
Oh, they come for the snappy conversation.
They come for the art and they stay for Scott.
Well, I am like a human mousetrap. You get too close to me and boom, I'll get you.
Snap.
You sure that's just not gravity?
Well, yeah, that's true. I do portray the instead of the son of Krypton, I do portray Krypton. So
The entire planet.
yeah, exactly.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Exactly.
Words or words were never spoken.
Anyway, this artwork is really good.
Isn't this artwork great?
Who is it again?
It's a different kind of show on a Sunday. It's okay.
That's what I was saying. It's a continuation from Friday.
I'm especially loving the highly detailed eyes here.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah.
great. I love those.
Those
And I
Coke
mean
bottle
that
glasses.
sincerely. I think that's great.
His Coke bottle glasses just blow his eyes up
Yeah.
so big
Yeah.
that you can't tell.
He looks like that guy on the Outer Limits, doesn't he?
Yeah.
That's a show I haven't seen in a long time. Good show, but
Available on Hulu. Anyway,
We control the vertical.
we control the horizontal.
Hmm.
Great stuff. Still holds up in a 50s bad monster movie science fiction sort of way.
Oh yeah, you can tell that they use toilet
Great
paper
stuff.
rolls and everything on that show.
A lot of stop motion whenever they could afford it. Xanty misfits crawling across. Just still enough to scare you.
It's good stuff.
Of course, they also have the Demon with the Glass Hand episode written by Ellison, which is just amazing.
Yeah.
Robert Culp. And,
Yeah.
it's classic stuff.
How
That
many,
one
how
on
many
the Soldier.
episodes did Ellison write for Twilight Zone? Anybody know?
Pardon?
How many episodes did Ellison write for Twilight Zone?
He only stayed on any show for like one episode because he couldn't stand everybody and he left.
And vice versa too. From what
And
I
vice versa. Yeah.
I would say, and definitely vice versa.
I think there's one voyage to the bottom of the sea. There's one Lost in Space. There's one Outer Limits and one Star
There's
Trek.
there's two outer limits. The soldier
two?
and demon with the glass
Yeah.
hand.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Yeah.
And that's something. I mean, the fact that he was regarded as insufferable by so many people, but they kept hiring him because he did phenomenal writing.
He was passionate
imagine
about what
it
he
was-
did. That's what it was. Yeah.
Did he work on the Twilight Zone?
Yes, he did the grandma. He did the episode Grandma.
Wasn't
What
he?
was
I think he was a consultant on the reboot, wasn't he?
Oh yeah,
Also-
yeah, he had a
Yeah, I
big
think he
part in that.
was.
Yeah.
He did a bunch of work on Babylon 5. I know that.
Him and Straczynski were really tight. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was the voice of the computer when they rebooted it. When they were when they're like, this is when we experimented with AI, and it was Harlan Ellison's voice, and he was a jerk to everyone. It was great.
I was watching Mystery Science Theater 3000, the Mitchell episode, and they just pan through this police station, and there's this guy with these glasses on who looks like Harlan Ellison, and it's like, hey, look, they arrested Harlan Ellison, and Joel's like, good.
That's awesome.
But my favorite quote is from Harlan Ellison. Fuck you, pay me.
Yeah, exactly.
True words have never been spoken.
Yep. True call of the freelancer. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
that is. It's the call of the freelancer. This guy's getting his. This guy's becoming very open-minded here.
Where?
Well, that's a way of looking at it.
Oh, fair enough. Gloopy gloop. Maybe he's hungry.
Just does brain surgery on himself.
Show monkey brains.
Watch what I can do. Boink.
Okay then.
That's great.
Oh. What is he doing? Like seasoning his brain or something?
Great shot. I think he's displaying the fact that he is artificial. He's tipping his hat to everyone.
That's what they call it now.
And with that, I take my leave. Yeah, anyway. More great space shots, fantastic ships here. That's great. Love that. What a cool shot.
It's a weird looking ship.
Is it towing something? Is that what it's doing?
Yeah, it kind of
Looks like it, yeah.
Guy with it, that Tom
No,
Selleck guy, and it looks more like Scott Roseman.
Just flying away. This guy here.
Oh, Glenn.
No, I'm telling you about my drawing that I'm just doing now. I'm just drawing him, and it looks like more like Scott Roseman than that guy.
Oh, gee, for a second there. Oh, I like the. I was
little pepper, little
I like that shot in the upper left panels where he takes the top of his head off. That's just awesome.
Yeah.
I like the way he's punching himself in the chin on the bottom.
Yeah. Stay back or I'll uppercut myself. I swear to God.
Nobody move or the gets it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll
Lord,
splatter my
Lord.
brains all over the place. Yeah.
He's
Anyway.
serious. Do what he say. Do what he say.
Like a great scene from Blazing Saddles,
Yeah.
where Cleveland Little, I think it was
Cleveland.
the guy. Oh God, he was so awesome.
The whole movie was fantastic. The cast, everybody.
Absolute classic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great movie.
But
Absolutely great movie.
you definitely couldn't get away with it today.
No, God, no.
I can. I've got a copy of it. And
Oh,
I
I
put
would
it on regularly.
love to. Oh God, I wish somebody would try and do it again. That would just be great. Throw all
Sure.
this PC crap out the window. It'd be
Just
awesome.
Pendulum
watch-
swinging. Pendulum swing.
Just
You'll
watch
see
your old stuff. It's fine.
that too. That's why we look at this great
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, because there's sod all in the current mainstream.
I've been trying to convince my fiance to get a Blu-ray player because like there's just nothing. You know.
The best Blu-ray player is a PlayStation 5. Remember that.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing. I still use my PlayStation 4 as a Blu-ray player.
I got like a ridiculous gaming rig that I put together over the years, so I'm okay.
The problem you've
Well, then-
got is that shops are starting to stop selling, aren't they?
Yeah, there's
Blu-rays.
less and less Blu-rays being made all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Less and
That's
less
the
physical
problem.
media in general, though. Yeah.
Because they think that nobody wants it. But it's
But nothing stops you from recording it off of television and burning it to a Blu-ray.
no.
It's very
Well,
true.
you have to have a recorder first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you have to have something on the television worth recording.
Yeah,
That's the other problem. So, then there's always some great stuff like Pirate Bay. Oh wait, did I say that out loud?
Oh, you didn't say that. I didn't hear you.
Yeah. Nobody heard anything? Okay.
yo ho. That's the slang.
Yo ho. Yo ho ho.
I'll have to visit you in jail now.
Yeah.
Metallica's coming
No,
after your
that's-
ass.
Batman.
in jail,
Ho, ho, ho.
I
Yo
stopped
ho.
listening to them after the Black Album. It's fine.
if they haven't stopped AI in their tracks yet from copyright violations, I think it's going to be a long time before we stop most of the pirating. So.
Well, with all the thing that with all the different streaming services and all that are coming out, I think it's going to lead to more pirating because people just can't afford it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just the same price as it used to be.
Yeah,
if not higher. Yeah.
You buy all the streaming services, you're paying more than you would have just for like everything cable.
Yeah, I'm pretty much down to just Netflix.
Yeah,
I've got Amazon Prime because I pay for Amazon Prime and I pay for HBO Max.
Yeah,
and I'm considering getting rid of Max.
I've got Prime because I have stuff sent to me quite regularly, so it's just good for the postage.
Yeah,
so it's a great double hitter. But I've got Netflix as well, but I've really only got that for my son, and he wanted Disney Plus as well. But I won't pay for that shit.
We just canceled Netflix yesterday, actually, and I'm gonna get the. I only watch Star Trek on that, anyways. Everything else is crap. So like,
it's all over on Paramount now, anyway. All the Star Trek stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm just.
I have 3 very, very loving kids. So anyway,
I see.
Oh yeah,
that's how I get a lot of my streaming services too.
I've got all that stuff. So I've got too much stuff to watch.
Look at that last panel there. The very last panel. How brilliant is that? Jumping.
Oh, there's the skydiving one
right here.
Yeah.
That one's a great one.
Amazing.
Yeah. The very last panel where they're jumping down.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
Nice
Fantastic.
Boots as well. No angle.
And again,
those boots.
All 4 of these strips are just amazing. Look at that. And the shot of the dog here. It's just crazy good.
Oh man,
love that.
Woof.
I mean, can you imagine Chaikin?
Is that their own version of K9?
Yeah.
Imagine getting
that joke for weeks now.
For own reason of humor relief. That's what it is. Anyway, you were saying, Glenn?
I was just saying, imagine Chaikin, who'd be what, 22, 28 when this came out, 29, getting the opportunity to work on top of Gil Kane, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We know what you mean. I wasn't laughing at the innuendo. I was laughing at the opportunity that was there. Yeah. Just crazy. Yeah. And now Chaikin just churns them out. He's got a consistent level of quality to his work. That's
like we were saying, you can't. There's no studio system anymore.
No.
There is no what's the word for it? There's no mentoring anymore.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what we're doing here, right? We're mentoring.
Well,
folks.
yeah, to a degree, showing people what's out there, but
what's cool and where to get it. Yeah,
nothing like actually doing it.
Didn't Chaikin share that studio with Simonson and Neil Adams? I seem to remember a story where Chaikin, I think I'm not sure whether he was doing the first issue or one of the issues of American Flag, and he did the whole issue in 24 hours or something. And Simonson went in because it was his turn, his few hours at the desk that they rented. And he came back. He had to come back the next day because Howard Chaikin said to him, "No, I'm not moving," and he just carried on drawing or something like that.
That sounds like true.
But there was a studio where they all those guys got. I mean, imagine the talent in that room.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Wasn't Kelly Jones in that one too, and Wrightson?
I don't know.
I think that's the one.
You seen Kelly Jones's latest book, the Dracula book?
I've seen it. I haven't gone through it yet.
Yeah, it's on Kickstarter at the moment. Yeah,
that was it. Yeah, it's out on Kickstarter.
Yeah, I've backed that because it looks great.
That's on my list.
Doing real well too. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty. I'm just gonna keep moving on, folks.
Do it.
You got a lot of stuff to show.
I was about to say.
In comes the wizard.
Don't let me start taking things over.
Space wizards.
Space wizards.
Space wizards.
She got a laser sword too.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask that.
I was gonna say, where's his power bands? Space wizard.
He's probably got a wand.
Giggity.
Isn't that funny how Kane was he had no problems going into these absolutely trite and cliched things. I mean, giving that wizard, that kind of bent dunce cap type look. It's just, I would have thought, he had to come up with something a little more original, but
why? He wants a space wizard. That's what it looks like.
It's just given the stereotype, so you know what it is, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
It's quick storytelling to give a background of a character.
Yeah, you know exactly what he is. It's Alan Moore playing that part.
Yeah, it's a typical shortcut using the trope, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Another great panel there.
I was just listening to an interview that somebody had with Moore the other day. God, that guy is fascinating. Just amazing. His whole thought process, just the way he thinks and it's just amazing. Just amazing.
Alan
It's
Moore.
a thin line between genius and madness.
Alan Moore is crazy.
True.
He is definitely on the line of madness. He's pushed it a little too far.
That's probably putting it mildly.
It's a lot of these guys are like that, though. There we are. Look at that.
I like old boy's mustache. It's nice.
Does stand out.
Yeah, but it's ruined it now because he's a robot, isn't he?
I think that was a different character, wasn't it?
I thought it was the same guy. My bad.
Oh, yeah, no. If it's a bionic moustache, it's not as impressive, is it?
That's right.
No. Now you're gonna make me look.
That made you look.
No, it's a different guy. That was the villain.
Oh, right. Okay. My mistake.
Look at that. Both of those bottom strips are just crazy
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
Fantastic,
beautiful, aren't they?
Look at the way on that last strip on the long panel where those three guys make you follow your eye across and you see the heroes,
And the way that there's so much ink on that panel,
Yeah.
the two middle figures are lighter touch, so it draws you in. Yeah,
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Just trying to make up for this this page here, where there's hardly any. It's like, oh yeah, I need a larger brush.
That's outside, isn't it? I bet it must be sun shining outside
Must
because
be
the
sun
shadows are
setting.
very dark, aren't they? What shadows there are very dark. I
Yeah.
get the impression that's obviously some sort of desert type of place, and they go in that room and it's very dark.
Did Kane ink this himself?
No,
No,
it's
he was-
Chaikin and whatever assistant was in the room. Ernie Cologne.
Neil
Cohen
Adams,
did a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
he did do some. though,
Neil
didn't he?
Adams. Say what?
Was this so? This was before Kane's terrible period of inking with flare pens, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just-
He did that in the 80s.
It was that's
90s actually. It was probably the 90s, early 2000s that he did that.
That was really too bad he went that route because he just was just butchering his own pencils. It was
Byrne
really,
did that.
really
Byrne
hard.
ended up
Already
doing
did that.
too. Later on, some of his Wonder Woman stuff looked like it was inked by Sharpies and flares.
Who did that?
Byrne.
Oh, John Byrne. Oh God,
Yeah.
that stuff was just terrible. Oh my God. And I tried telling those guys. I'd call them up and I'd tell them, but they wouldn't listen. I mean,
They were like, how did you get this number?
Hi, it's Scott Rosemer. Who?
I had a gag order on you. You should have.
I told him. I said, "Don't."
This is
do it."
violating my
Oh,
my protection order.
you're not.
do it,
You're
I
not
said.
500 feet within. You're not within 500 feet of my building, are you?
Take that pen and throw it in the bin. I told him. I know, but he didn't want to know, and he kept using the pen. And I said, "Don't use the pen. Don't use it." But he didn't. He just wanted to use the pen.
Exactly. Rat bastards. Damn it.
I kept trying to talk him into using a ballpoint pen. Like, if you're using this trash, you might as well use a ballpoint pen.
Might as well. Of course, speaking of ballpoint pen, what I find amazing is what Frank Cho is doing these days with just a regular ballpoint. That's just amazing. I don't know how in the hell he pulls it off, but
I don't know how he gets those prices either. But that's a whole nother story.
Oh, God, yeah.
Frank Cho works for Dynamite now, right?
Frank Cho works for anybody that'll let him.
Okay, I thought he worked for Dynamite exclusively now.
I didn't think he. I thought he was doing commission work mostly.
Didn't he
know
get cancelled
doing any
once?
regular work? Yeah, they tried. Lost a DC gig because he drew Wonder Woman too sexy. I think.
Well,
like
it wasn't even too sexy. It was just a knicker line or something. It was just ridiculous. It's just
stupid
the pillock idiot editors they've got over there at the moment. But yeah, I mean, he's a fantastic artist.
Yes,
he
is.
Special kind of artist. That guy.
Oh yeah,
beautiful work.
He does good cheesecake.
Yeah,
he does good at anything. Do you know what? Yeah, he is particularly good at the cheesecake. He likes a good thick girl. Do you know what I mean? But
sure.
But just in general, his ability, he's fabulous.
No, he's great.
There's
fantastic.
He posted a video recently where he.
Who are we talking about?
Frank Cho, CHO.
Wolverine, and it's just phenomenal. I mean, the whole thing, start to finish, pencil.
Yeah.
Wolverine, just amazing. I mean, his knowledge of anatomy and control imagery.
Well, when they did the 50 Vampirella covers for the 50th anniversary of Vampirella, his cover is the one I bought because it looked the coolest. That was just her in a very pin-up pose.
Well, between him and Adam Hughes, I mean, they stand by the old adage that sex sells. Not for me. I can't give it.
Sexiness more than sex. Sexiness.
Yeah.
I think it's sexiness. I think sells a bit better. I mean, porn will always sell, but
not when you can get it free online. Anyway.
That's
I know nothing about that.
Just do your own hot tub stream there. You'll be fine.
Opens an OnlyFans site for it. People pay him to get off, and not in the way you think.
Adam Hughes show and Terry Dodson. David says.
Oh, Terry Dodson's awesome.
Yep.
God. Send me $10, or I swear to God, I'll post more.
Did anybody see the Silvestri Batman run that just came out?
Yeah, I collected the whole thing.
Yeah, that art is just amazing.
Yeah, I think that's some of the best work he's ever done. Period.
Yeah.
I was going to say it took him a while to do it too.
It took like 5 years for him to finish it for just a 7-issue run, but
yep, it was so good though.
Boy, yeah, Silvestri's got it. That's another guy that's got just this phenomenal.
Oh yeah,
anatomy, just phenomenal.
David says Dave Stevens, absolutely. Lepresti's pretty good, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Dave Stevens is classic. Anything that he touched was amazing.
Yeah, he's saying 5 years too. Yeah, it was 5 years.
This on the Starhawk strip, this balding guy with that thick mustache, he looks so much like he was the precursor to Blackjack Tar from the Master of Kung Fu series.
yeah.
It's coming out about the same time. He just fits the strong man stereotype.
Oh yeah,
Bald with a handlebar mustache like that. They had a Ajax in Killraven, had the exact same look.
Oh,
there's a number of characters that carry that off. Yeah,
the G.I. Joe guy.
Yeah.
Too.
Gung Ho or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I think his name was that.
Look at that! That first panel, the way she's thrown that guy and he's upside down.
Where? Which one?
Top panel.
The top panel on the left.
First panel.
Oh, okay.
She's zapping him. Are you
The
talking here?
Other left.
No, the first panel. That one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that one.
Yeah. That's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And directly underneath where the ball guys, you can see he's just about to punch the guy with a knife at his throat.
Oh,
But
yeah.
but it's off camera, so to speak, and he's gonna smack him one. It's brilliant.
I
You
don't care. There's a
actually see
knife
it.
at my throat. I'm going to smack you in the teeth.
Well, of course, but is it a Hydra agent?
If you cut my head off, I swear I'll punch you in the head. I'll punch you in the mouth.
Don't touch my mustache.
Guys, that's the thing about Kane. Kane was just such a master at moving the figure in space. It's like he had this 3-dimensional 360 view of what he was drawing. It's like there was no angle he couldn't pull off. It was just amazing.
Yeah. That second strip there, the top panel where she's shooting the guy, those are real Gil Kane legs, aren't they?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Classic.
It's funny listening to Dave Finch complain about drawing women.
I'm just surprised that they put so much effort into the facial expressions of something that was in the newspaper in the 70s.
Yeah.
Say that again?
I was surprised they put so much effort into the facial expressions of the characters for something that was just going to end up in a newspaper in the 70s.
Yeah, well, that's the depth of their conviction of.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to draw something, draw it properly.
But by this time, though, it's probably second nature. The guy just reads the script and he's like, "Oh, okay, and done." And that probably by the time you say done, he's finished.
Yeah, I don't even know how much. I think it's a second nature to them.
Plus, you're working at a time when the adventure strip is starting to become a really big anomaly, especially here in the States. So I'm sure he wanted to put his best foot forward on this. Plus, he was getting paid better than what he would ever have done doing this for Marvel or DC.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I wonder what the circulation was on a strip. How many papers carried it?
I know it's pretty popular when it first came out because Star Wars was such a big hit.
Yeah, it has Star in the titles. Everybody carried it.
Randy, did you get it over in your neck of the woods in any of your papers?
I think one of the Detroit papers carried it, Detroit Free Press, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, I'm not surprised they
carried it, but they carried Modesty Blaze for years as well.
Oh, yeah.
So they had somebody up there who was a comic strip editor with a lot of taste.
Oh, the Free Press
stuff.
Yeah, very good strips.
But it was a Detroit News, the competing paper that actually picked up the spirit sections. They had the spirit sections through the entire run.
One of the great the great things about the Free Press was that if you could get a subscription to it, you were just guaranteed this phenomenal array of. They had like 2 or 3 pages of comic strips.
Oh no, they had about 6 pages of color comics because we used to get them from my grandma every Sunday. She'd bring the Sunday page with her. We'd take her with us to church, and she'd bring the Sunday Free Press. They had Mandrake and Dick Tracy. They had a ton of the great classic strips in there.
Oh yeah,
that's where my appreciation for these kind of strips started, was that out of that Free Press and their great selection.
I wonder how much of this Ernie Cologne did.
It's hard to tell because Ernie's inking style is so close to Gil's inking style. We'll never know. He could have been on this whole thing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He's got such a line-based open style to his stuff. Like it wouldn't surprise me if he inked that panel real easy.
Oh,
that looks a lot like his work.
Yeah. Oh, Ernie Coleman's another unsung hero. His stuff is just great.
I worked for decades for Harvey, doing all sorts of their comedy stuff. Just crazy.
He did a lot of stuff for Charlton too, didn't he? Some of their superheroes.
I think he did here and there. Yeah. It's his Harvey stuff that I remember because he's one of the few. He's got an individual inking style. You could almost look at a Casper or a Richie Rich and know that it was his work. Over top of everybody else, even though they had such a strict house style.
Man.
It's like Dan DiCarlo for Archie. You could almost always tell a Dan DiCarlo strip, even though Archie had a very strict house style too.
You know, the during the years back when Susan and I first got married, she was working at a dental laboratory, and her boss just loved the Detroit Free Press, so he had a subscription.
Mhm.
So, you know, I would get out of work and go to her place to pick her up, and I'd have to wait like an hour. So I got a chance to always thumb through the Free Press, and it was just phenomenal to see all these strips that they never saw the light of day on our side of the state.
Yeah.
It was just awesome. I mean, Spider-Man and Dick Tracy, and oh god, it was just
Well, the nearest thing you had over on the west side of Michigan was a Grand Rapids daily paper, I think. It was kicking out at that
the
point.
Grampus Press.
Yeah.
And they
See, over
and they
here in
were-
Detroit, they had those two competing papers, plus you had a daily paper out of Oakland County called the Oakland Press, and they used to take all of their Sunday strips and make a spirit section out of it, like a little newsprint comic book. I've got quite a few examples of that. That was pretty cool.
nice.
Yeah.
That's great. Well,
And they
that's
did
the
that.
beauty
They did that little book all the way through, I would say, mid 2000s.
No kidding.
Oh yeah, it
Well,
was
see,
a lot.
that's
Of,
the
they
beauty
just
of-
threw the strips together and stuck their logo up on the top of it, ran it all off, and I don't even think in the later years they glue stitched it on the spine.
Well, that's the
But it's
beauty
a regular
of
Sunday paper. Yeah.
having a population of nearly 1 million in that
Yeah.
southeast corner of Michigan.
Oh yeah.
It was just, there was enough subscription support to do that type of thing.
Well, just being syndicated in the papers alone got you so many millions of views back during that time. You know, the spirit section was probably the widest circulated comic of its era because of all of the papers that carried it. And they had, each paper had circulations of in at least the hundreds of thousands.
Oh yeah, easily.
But those sections are so rare anymore because everybody would just toss it away with their newspaper.
Yeah, I mean, they used to be in some papers, they had such circulation, they had like two a day.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So,
And that's actually part of, newspapers were always their own worst enemies because, like I said earlier, they would shrink the comics the first thing to try and make more headspace. And so they would eventually turned off the audience. I mean, the people who just loved the comic strips and followed the paper almost solely for those, they were, constantly being pissed off. Their strips kept becoming more and more like postage stamps. I mean, who can enjoy even a humor strip when you got a frickin' magnifying glass to read the damn thing?
Yeah,
it's just so frustrating. They killed themselves basically.
Well, they got straddled also with over editorialship and a lot of moms complaining about the content of the the strips and that. And they started cutting down to just safe humor strips. And then every time a new entertainment form came out, the adventure strip, more and more of the adventure strips just dwindled away.
Oh yeah, these people that don't have any frickin' courage in their life. Oh, I can't have violence. Oh my god. Oh, we can't show a sexy woman. Oh my god.
Yeah, you get back into these strips, and it's some of the best sequential art ever.
I was just having a debate with a fellow artist about criticism, and they're more progressive, and they just the idea of criticism of art was just baffling to them.
Yeah,
like it could hurt somebody's feelings.
Well, they obviously don't want to get it right, then, do they?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
I'm extremely progressive, and I feel that criticism should be for teaching. So
exactly, you can't learn if if you don't get proper criticism, you can't possibly learn because you can't see your own mistakes.
Yeah.
And here on this tier, it looks like we go from an Adam's inked face there, to Ernie Colin inked face.
Oh yeah.
There.
Yeah, it does look like him.
Looks like it to me.
Awesome.
One strip after the next.
Speaking of Gil Kane being inked by Neil Adams, the one issue of Savage Sword where Kane drew it and Adams completely inked it, the whole thing. It was just the most phenomenal Phenomenal art job.
If you remember what number that is, we will definitely take a look at it here.
Just,
At least on a Comics by Night sometime real soon.
oh God, just phenomenal.
Was that the Conan comic or the Conan magazine?
The magazine, the black and white magazine.
The magazine, right.
Oh, just so great. And that's the thing, is that Adams just improved everybody with his inking. And yet it still looked like a Gil Kane job, but it had this Neil Adams flair and polish to it. It's just God, it's so yeah.
I think Giordano did a lot of that too. You know, he classied up anybody that he inked.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of progressive, I had some great soup the other day. Oh wait, I'm sorry, the wrong progressive. Sorry.
Speaking of progressive, I've got a nice car insurance the other day. Anyway,
It's Progresso. Sorry.
Progresso.
Little debris here.
You guys remember the names of the a little off topic? The names of the different head type construction stuff, like Loomis. There's another one. I can't remember the two other ones that are famous.
Well, like
No,
Hogarth and he's on the tip of my tongue.
What?
Bridgman.
Yeah, Andrew.
I think there's another one.
There's a 3D looking model one too.
It's great water works here.
Oh man, look at that.
Yeah, that's good.
Another great up the nose shot there, right next to it.
Up the nose. Up the nose.
Yeah.
Up the nose.
I like the top panel on the left, the first panel basically, where the woman's face is there and you have people coming in behind. I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
That water is drawn there on that bottom right panel page. Again, I mentioned it before about how he uses the layout of the paper to show the extra piece. It's like it's a full page spread, that, isn't it, with those 3 panels put on top of it. Do you understand what I mean? The way he's used the top tier of the strip to portray the depth of where those guys are walking. Beautiful.
It's so fluid. Water.
Oh God, that was bad.
Yeah.
Don't worry, it gets worse.
For anybody who, oh, I guarantee it'll get worse. I guarantee it.
Family friendly program.
Oh, and speaking of, I was really, I was caught up in you guys and you guys's.
You guys.
You were riffing on that Talos of the Wilderness Sea. Look, and the
poor Talos.
Yeah. But the thing you guys weren't really, I don't think you missed the one aspect of it that was obvious to me, is that
it was a girl.
That terrible that hair, the hair at the top. You guys were saying it was so bad. I don't think you realized what it really was for. Randy, can you zoom in on my screen for a moment?
There you are.
See, it was actually a ready-made source of handlebar mustaches.
You're right.
Of course. Yes.
Yeah. And see, the Tiger's got one.
Yeah. Very good.
So, there's a reason for everything.
He looks so much more manly with a moustache.
Doesn't he, though?
Is that where you got the idea for your set, Scott?
Oh yeah, I'm trying like the Dickens, to give myself that kind of 18th century look, and just that really compliments me.
Around the world in 80 days.
Hanging around.
Good Lord, never.
I found the head things. There's the Loomis, Riley, and the Sorrow. That's what I was looking for.
The what?
Loomis, Riley,
Who
What?
farted? Who
This
was
man.
that?
That was
Who was it? Come on.
Well, I can tell you who it wasn't.
Nice panel.
Oh yeah, look at the
Body over
shading.
the head. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that bottom. Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead.
So I was mentioning Loomis. And I was curious, I was looking it up. I couldn't find it, but do you think Gil Kane is like sort of builds his heads off the Loomis method, or the other two?
Oh, he must have studied Bridgman religiously. I mean, it was just it's so obviously connected.
Oh, yeah, he's definitely a Bridgman student. His head studies could be Loomis. That'd be the first one I'd think about. But Bridgman, I think, is his base anatomy.
Oh yeah.
So we always take little chunks from here and there and adapt it to our style.
Yep.
Stuff that we like. It's all part
The
of being
fact
an
that
artist.
he was such a master at that upward shot of the human head, probably one of the most difficult angles to draw the head from, and he just did it everywhere, all the time. It was just amazing. The most difficult shot in the world, and he made it look so easy. Just always stunning. Oh, that's a great ape creature. God, that is so cool.
Mm.
Oh,
Ooby doo. I
There's
want to
that
be
freaking-
like you.
That was a pretty cool looking monster.
Yeah.
It's the slouch. Just really the gravity
Punch.
in the body. Very clever.
Punch. Yeah. Looks like it's hard for him to move.
Somebody cutting out something?
What?
You look,
You cut out some Max.
yeah, it looks like it sounds like you're clipping newspapers over there.
Yep, I'm cutting Starhawks episodes out of the newspaper.
It's just adding to his scrapbook. He's warning everybody to be quiet here.
No, there is a mute button.
There is?
Yeah, it works.
I'm surprised you can hear that.
No, I can hear everything.
We
You
hear it all.
neighbors.
We hear it all. Yeah.
My microphone is very sensitive.
Moving through a little faster, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Woohoo!
Yep, end of chapter.
That's
Ending the
what's your-
chapter.
And we get the robot dog. We're back to the dog.
That's just
Just for the end
inconsequential
punchline.
shot. There's two shots there. There's similar shots, different angles. So like they've got three people hanging around with a dog.
Mhm.
Mhm.
They're on the far left, and then in the center, on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, far left, and then in the
Yeah.
center on the
It's on
right.
the right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just that casual change of angle. Very nice.
Yeah, that's good. So his composition work is just amazing.
Quit looking so droopy. Just turn the next page for the next exciting episode of Starhawks.
So are
Chapter
these,
7, folks.
how are these separated out? Because I know there was only a 4-year run from 77 to 81, and then they brought it back again.
Yeah, when they brought it back, it was a single tier strip.
Mm.
Yeah,
Oh, that sucks.
those are all in here. We just have to work our way to them. More great ships here.
Yeah. That
His
station
ship
is
design
really
is
nice too.
interesting. It's blocky, but it still looks neat. So
Where was the title on top of the panels, and how big was that?
I don't think it ran one other than a little line of type that said
Oh yeah,
Starhawk
yeah, I've seen
by
them.
Gil
Yeah,
Kane.
just
Scott's complaining
yeah.
that you get kicked off.
Yes, I remember
did he?
now. Yeah, to do
How did he
those.
get kicked off?
I have no idea.
I've been
There's only
kicked
two
off.
people
I
here who can kick him, and I didn't do it. So
I didn't do it, Scott. Come on back in.
Boomer juice.
Boomer Juice. Must have
Boomer
been your
Juice,
local provider. Could have been Susie.
Sunspots.
Before that,
Sunspots.
yeah. I blame sunspots all the time for stuff.
They'd knock us all off.
Not liver spots?
Nope.
What are you saying?
That's
Calling me old?
I think you said liver spots. That's what it sounded like to me.
Jeez, it's younglings.
Come back in, Scott. You can use that link. Same link you got to get here in the first place. Come on in. If you want. Maybe he's decided to leave us.
Use the mouse. Use the mouse. Use the fork, Luke. It's all gone quiet over there.
Too quiet.
Yeah. I'm just we're all just waiting
Just
for
moving
the
along here.
Roseman to come on.
I was
Wishing
working
you
on
all galactic season's greetings. Obviously, the Christmas page.
That last panel with the dog is just ridiculous.
I think they reused it for that one that
Bull?
that's right, the one above the wishing you all season greetings. I think they used that for the announcement of, hey, there's more to come. Looks like the same picture.
Scott says he'll be back. He's just crawling back out of the negative zone.
I thought we were throwing him into the phantom zone this time, not the negative zone. He knows his way out of that too easily.
I'm going to do a HeroBot Zero story where there's a alternate dimension that Tippy's dad has fallen into called the Null and Void. That'll be fun. Anyway.
I've always enjoyed a different series of fantasy and sci-fi. I've handled the Fugue plane or whatever else, Limbo, and
yeah. Well, Marvel's got the negative zone, and DC's got the Phantom zone. And Phantom, he's got no zones at all.
Yeah, it sucks to be him.
Really. DC does have a negative man, though.
Yep.
And woman. So there we are. Boom.
Spaceships.
You know what? I want to spend at least one of these strips drawing nothing but spaceships. Here we go.
Negative man and
What
woman.
great is that? That is just great.
Love the motorbike as well.
Yeah.
Or the space bike, whatever.
Little speeder. In space yet.
Do you think he did like the ships and stuff to save time?
I always thought it was
quicker
with Negative Man. I always thought it was like he'd be like Eeyore. It'd be like, come on, we gotta stop the big bad guys. Like, oh, we can't do that. We're not that good.
We'll never make it.
Like the robot.
Stop being so negative, Negative Man.
He's like the robot in what's it called?
Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yeah.
Marvin.
Yeah,
More like Hicks and Aliens
Oh,
too. We're all gonna
so
die.
Clever.
Well, he was
Game
right on
over,
that though.
man.
They pretty much
Game
all
over.
died. So
Yeah.
I don't know about drawing the spaceships to like save time though, because that's a lot more perspective work and stuff.
It's all going to end.
Yes,
in
Jose
tears.
Gonzalez. I have this book. I have his book. Yeah.
The ending of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, like the whole series, is just fantastic.
There's some poor intern that had to draw all these spaceships. Gil's like, I'll do the people, you do the spaceships.
Get your ruler, Howard. Here we are.
Howard's got a ruler.
I doubt he did all those by hand.
No. I love the way the shadows on those spaceships aren't solid, and they give that impression of movement.
Yeah. Lines.
Yeah, they do look like they're moving because of that. They must have been a pain in the ass to do.
Do we lost Glenn too, eh? Like he's
No, I'm
No,
here.
Glenn's
I'm
here.
just-
He's just looking at the art. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just
being
I was
respectful.
I was going to say I'm losing Gil Kane on it. I think he must be on layouts at this point because it seems, I don't know, it seems it's not as good as the early stuff. And I was just looking at it, just
no, but a lot of it's still real pretty. I mean, here
I
that
thought
doesn't look
a
like
few bits.
that doesn't look like Kane inked that at all.
It's a few bits had a sort of an Adams feel.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, the face there. If you go to the bottom left-hand panels,
Or you never know.
three.
Adams had a huge studio, so he could have kicked it over to some apprentices.
But the bottom three panels, they kind of got a bit of an Adams feel to them, especially that face on the main guy
down here.
No, far left. Yeah, the middle panel there, the thin one.
Yeah.
Didn't Chaikin work on this too?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. I was just saying, I don't know. I'm just not seeing so much Kane. It's like he's just doing layouts. Maybe I don't know.
Could be doing pencils and passing it off. You never know.
Yeah.
They're all on deadlines on this, and that doing a double strip up like this is not an easy thing to do.
No, it's basically you're doing a full comic page a day effectively.
At least.
So yeah.
I was gonna say we are looking at a where's my hand?
I don't think that's the
doing that looks like Chaikin to me.
Doing a whole page a day isn't a massive deal.
No.
It's doing a whole page a day plus all the other stuff.
Oh no, I was including all that.
Yeah,
they're doing an entire. I should say they're doing an entire strip a day.
Yeah, it's it's everything else. They were so prolific, all these guys.
You had to do them in clumps. You did the writing over a period of a day or two, then all of the penciling for at least a week over a day or two, and then the inking. Yeah,
I think once you
did it all in a run.
I think once you get into a flow of a routine, though, like I'm sure some of the, it just you get up, go to work, you exercise, whatever, breakfast. If you're in a routine, it's not so bad.
But what you got to remember is that he's obviously Gil Kane's writing this on the board, and he's still got to work that out in his head.
Yeah,
he's not just drawing. He is drawing, but he's thinking as well.
I'm sure they were also I'm sure they were way ahead of themselves when making.
Oh, the syndicate made them stay probably 5 to 6 weeks ahead, minimal.
Yeah.
I have trouble thinking when I'm drawing.
When you submit to a syndicate,
I just have trouble thinking.
When you submit to the syndicates, you need to have a minimum of 2 months, and then you need to have at least I think it's a month's worth of Sundays. What I mean by that is like 30 Sundays.
Yeah.
I definitely know that I'm not great
solid
with
shadows brush. Probably David.
Like I like to go ahead.
No, go ahead, Whiskey.
So I was saying that I'm not great with deadlines at all. I like to take time to take a look at the piece and then step back and then look at it and then but not really relevant to the stuff. So
well, back in these days, they had pretty hard deadlines they had to meet, and when you're working for a syndicate, you can't miss.
No,
you just can't.
Nope.
I reckon
that costs everybody money.
Thus the wonky arms.
Yeah. All of this here looks like it was inked by Chaikin to me.
Yeah.
The line work's getting thinner on some of it. I don't know if it's a reproduction or what, but the ink work, it really looks a lot like Chaikin to me. There especially, that's a Chaikin face. He might be working off of more rough layouts than anything. Interesting solids here.
I think that first strip there with that guy with the beard, I think he turned over his shoulder, Chaikin, and saw Walt Simonson and drew him.
Yeah.
I think there's less and less of Kane in this. I reckon, I don't know how fast Kane worked, and I don't know whether I'm right or not. I'm not saying I am, but I'm thinking that Kane is doing really, really rough layouts on this, and he's throwing it to the side, and these guys are picking these pages up and inking it for the deadline thing. So I reckon Kane is doing 4 or 5 of these a day at least. Just rough pencil work.
I'm also thinking that these last 3 strips here, this one and the bottom 2, it's a lot less quality in the layout, in the position.
Yeah.
Things
Those are
are getting
very
a lot more
simplistic.
rushed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, almost rustic.
The blacks are disappearing. The
They sure are.
composition.
Oh yeah, look how much lighter it is. Yeah.
Yeah, look at the
Much
figure
lighter.
work as well. It's not the same, is it?
I was
mean,
going to
look
say
at
the
that.
figure work went down.
Yeah, so the quality of the art has just kind of declined in general.
Yeah.
That's all could be Gene, or not Gene, Ernie Colan here. This could all be Ernie doing Gil Kane. We are guessing at that, though. So.
Yeah. I mean, look at those eyes on that girl there. They're awful. You don't draw lashes like that. Look at that.
Efrain's in the house. Efrain, thanks
Ernie's
for
got
joining us.
credit as an illustrator on this, right?
For what?
Ernie got credit as an illustrator. Oh, no, it was uncredited.
Uncredited, yeah. But that
who
really,
knows what all he did.
Right. That is Ernie. Right there. That's Ernie Colan.
It's gone very cartoony, that, hasn't it?
Yeah.
The whole thing's gone very cartoony.
Look at the way that girl's standing in that
Yeah.
left-hand
Yeah,
panel,
yeah.
and then the scientist is very, very cartoony.
Yeah. Maybe that's why it ended, because they thought, no, the quality's gone.
Well, we still got quite a ways to go. We're about halfway in.
All right. Okay.
Damn. Yeah, we got a lot.
Wow.
We'll be doing this for the next year.
We don't necessarily have to. I mean, it's nice to review the whole book, but we don't necessarily.
Yeah,
have
we
to.
don't have to. No, we can stop at the next chapter if the quality keeps like this.
Look at that last page and that girl's face. I can't see any Kane in that.
Here, no.
Yeah.
That really looks like Ernie Colan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is Ernie. Especially that face.
He might have. Kane was sick for some of this too, if I remember right. So some of these entire weeks he didn't have a hand in. That's them.
Well, look at that guy there, bottom left. That's a bit dodgy, isn't it?
With the pants?
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah.
He looks like he's moving his neck backwards and forwards, like there's some music going on in the background, and he's getting right into it while he's putting his pants on.
Yeah. I don't think there's much Kane in any of this here. Everything's so it's a lot stiffer.
Yeah. The only Kane on it is his name in the box.
Yeah, probably at this point.
Look at that.
The positioning of the characters, they don't feel like they have any weight.
Yeah.
Like when you're looking at the girl falling in page, I guess it'd be panels 1, 2, 3, 4. The bottom left.
Yeah.
Where she's falling down.
Page 3.
Page 154.
Oh, here.
Page 3.
Yeah,
right there. I mean, it doesn't seem like she has any weight to her body.
None of that looks like Kane.
That panel there where she's turned around and smiling to the camera or talking or whatever.
Yeah.
That looks like she's selling toothpaste.
Yep.
9 out of 10 doctors choose Crest.
Yeah, this really looks like Ernie.
That robot looks all wonky.
Rushed Ernie at that. You're probably pressing a deadline real hard. That's still a Kane signature here. Yep. Still Kane on the signature. Oh, he's ghosting all of this.
Makes you wonder whether he actually saw it with his name on.
I don't know. He might have been ill during this period. Or he had another deadline that paid more.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably just had another job.
Frayne says there are comics that when they color it, they mess it up. So some are better in black and white. Yeah,
That's very true.
very true.
I don't think anyone here will disagree with that.
I don't know.
Nope.
Poor colors can kill a book. Great colors can elevate a book.
We're getting a little bit more detailed now, especially here towards the end.
Oh, maybe
Gil's
Gil's
coming
back.
back.
The camera is starting to shift a little better. Positioning is a lot more interesting, a lot more static.
But I still don't think Kane's there.
Could be shaking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's shaking.
Something like an old friend is just kind of like no longer, you know.
I mean, that guy there, that last panel there where he's hugging the girl, I mean, that's totally different from the guy that's been all the way through, isn't it?
Yeah.
His
Yeah.
mustache
With his crazy polo neck on. Is it?
Mustache is different too. Yeah.
Yeah. Has he got a polo neck on, or is that his neck?
No,
Looks like he's got
a turtleneck.
He's got a big goiter over there by his ear.
Yeah. Not good.
Heading towards the next chapter.
It's good as in the art is all right, but it's not as good as Kane.
Exactly.
Because I can't draw that good.
Agent Stam's shaking here.
Oh dear.
Undeniable shaking.
Oh.
A lot of it too. He might be doing everything at this point on this. And it's very shaken. Right in the style that he was using at the time too. Try to dig up his Cody Starbuck book. I've got it around here somewhere. It's Star Reach printed. That's another space opera, but it's a little, well, not a little. It's very on the adult side. That's a nice shot here, though. Getting back into more interesting layouts.
Yeah.
A lot more static. A lot more detail.
Well, if Chaikin's doing most of the work at this point in time and doing the layouts, he's probably working off of his own stuff, and that's better for him than trying to work off some like Gil's layouts and conform his style to that instead of just doing it all himself.
Those stars are awful, though, aren't they?
Dots.
Yeah, that's actually pretty bad, even for just splatter or whatever.
Dotty. Yeah.
Like not even like some of them are just globs.
It looks like the stars actually move for the word balloons.
Yeah.
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 It's like I understand like the whole blush or the brush splatter technique. You know, you use that for all kinds of different things. But it just kind of looks like he sneezed on the page in that one.
I like the one over on the right there. It looks like he's under the water in the ship. The ship looks like it's under the water. And underwater next to a massive orange.
Right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on the magic school bus with.
It's the brand new Jaffa drive.
That should say who, and it should say Rosemar.
Selling points. Our space scenes are done by Jackson Pollock.
Yeah. After lunch, too much lunch.
Scott, you can use the same link. Sorry, I just saw your notice there. Here you go. I sent it again. He sent it on a different. Okay.
Look at those awful circles of that tube they're in that bottom section, center panel of the last strip. Look at that. It's awful, isn't it? That is terrible.
The middle circle and the top circle are not the same.
That's terrible.
Perspective.
One of the circles is not like the other.
I don't think he's using any kind of a ruler. I think that's all freehand. It looks all freehand to me.
If you look at the tube, though, it might be the inner circle is some sort of like railing, and then the top circle is the tube itself, because you can see a slight edge on the left side of the bottom left side of the panel.
It should still be an oval though, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's not in the right perspective though.
This has gone from brilliant to not being very good, hasn't it?
Well, you've gone from Chaikin or from Kane to Chaikin. Young Chaikin, I should say.
Yeah.
This is very Chaikin.
I mean, how could you not tell that there's a difference in the art?
Yeah.
Which is all the face
so Chaikin
work.
of that time. Yeah.
That's what I was talking about beforehand with Gil Kane's facial expressions. They're really good. You look at these new ones, and they're just not. I mean, he tries. You could tell. I mean, like with the dude gritting his teeth up there in the corner, and different things like that. But I mean, then you look at the last one down below, page 4, panel. Yeah, this just looks terrible.
Yeah.
Nope, he's coming back.
He's coming back as soon as he gets his connected devices.
Coming back for near the end of the show.
Plug in them devices, Scott. Getting a little better.
We're not going to do a 3-hour stream today?
Well, we could.
Nope.
But nope. Yeah.
But nope.
But nope. I don't even know if we need to continue the Starhawk stuff like everybody's saying.
Yeah, I don't like this.
I think we're done.
Yeah. It's a perfect spot to just be like, oh,
Christ almighty, Jesus Christ.
It's too late, Scott. We're going now.
Yeah, we're about ready to leave.
Yeah, I knew it.
It's too late, Scott. We're going now.
Yeah, we're about ready to leave.
Someone's got their YouTube on.
He's in a time warp.
Turn your volume off, Scott.
Okay.
Yeah, we're about ready to leave.
Hang on.
Someone's got their YouTube on.
He's in a time warp.
Turn your volume off.
Turn up or down?
Oh, thank God for that. We just really.
Sorry, I had to mute you, Scott. It's just the noise is getting too carried away.
Boomer virus.
What the hell's going on?
Thank God for that.
Sorry, I had to mute you, Scott. It's just
I understand.
Good, because I'm still going to mute you. There we are. More stuff. Nice smoke. Well, maybe. Still, it's very Chaikin.
I like that bottom panel on the 4th strip where she's firing again. It's one of those,
Maybe.
where they use the bottom strip,
Still,
the bottom
very
part of the panel.
Yeah.
That. We're still on repeat, so.
Scott, we're still getting an echo from your sound. There, you need to turn off whatever you're listening to.
He's got YouTube on. He can just just turn it off. Just close
I
the browser.
can't.
You need to turn off whatever you're listening to. Yeah, you're still on an echo, buddy. Sorry.
Echo.
I muted his mic.
Oh, damn it.
More Chaikin.
Yeah.
Still, given some time, it's too bad that we don't have some way of doing adventure strips, that makes money. That you can do it digitally, but it wouldn't be the same.
I wonder.
Have some way of doing it. Scott hasn't corrected his problem. He just booted himself. So.
I wonder how many
There you go.
people that were reading this noticed the change in quality.
I don't know.
I mean, because this is our job. This is what we do, so we can critique it a little more than the average random nobody guy on the street that just picked up the paper to read the Starhawks.
The layman though, no, I definitely can answer that because working especially in the miniature scene, working with 3D modelers and amateurs and stuff like that, you get a lot of stuff that comes in, and working with different clients and people, they can't tell the difference between a good quality one and the thing. They don't see the difference at all, and it comes up enough that I know that it's, if you're not learned in the thing, or you don't have an eye for it, you can't tell, right? Like you'll see a really bad quality piece of work, be like, that is awful. Then you see a really good quality piece of work, and then they'll complain about the good quality thing will be like, oh no, this is totally better. And then you're like, are you insane?
And yet the very next chapter, you can tell Kane's back.
There you go. Hey, thank God.
Look at that great floating little asteroid there. What do you think, Glenn?
About what? About the asteroid?
No, that's the 4 strips. The quality has gone right back up.
Oh yeah, I can see that Kane's come back. Yeah, but it's still not working for me. He's still. But yeah, it's a lot better. A lot better.
Nice stuff. Like
faces are much better.
Yeah, the composition, the down shots, up shots, all come back again.
Shows you the difference between a great penciler and an average penciler, and
it does.
How an inker can improve a good penciler, but can't improve a bad one.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Also shows how comparative analysis works, where you get like two different things and you put them side by side, you get a way different perspective of not than just individual critiques.
Yeah. Back to being fun here.
Yeah.
Tubes are a lot better.
It's the same writer, or the dialoguer, isn't it?
It is.
Is it
Ron Goulart all through this.
Right.
Goodwin comes in here anytime towards the end or somewhere in there.
You've read it. I've not read it, but that previous section we looked at that clearly wasn't Kane. Does the writing change in terms of is Goulart just dialogue and he's not? Is he not doing?
No, I think the pacing and the writing on that stays really consistent. It's just the art that has shifted.
Right.
Okay. What year is this?
78.
It's probably 78, 79 at this point.
Well, it said it on the page before. Didn't it?
No.
It'll be late 78, early 79, I would have thought by now.
It's got to be 70, probably 79 by now because they just had a Christmas episode.
Yeah. Goulart did it until 79. Then Goodwin went from 79 to 80. And Roger Stern was writing it in 79 also. And then Roger McKenzie wrote it 80 to 81.
Okay.
Right. Again, the artwork, Kane seems to have found his way back, but it's still not as good as the early stuff.
Yep. Not as detailed, not as competent.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty good, though.
Yeah, the angles are back and everything. I mean, it's still good, but it's just not as good as what we saw before.
He probably had more work and was having to divide his time.
Probably.
Speaking about comparative analysis, I would like to take a look at the start of the thing, and then what, like him coming back to see if they if him just doing the strip improves his thing. I mean, I wasn't speaking figuratively, or
I mean, you can see early. You can see, can't you, the quality?
Yeah, there's definitely a quality difference.
Is amazing.
There's very early quality here. Yeah.
So he's not that he's just phoning it in as it goes, I guess.
It's probably getting busier and busier. Plus, the strip has started out like gangbusters, and then certain newspapers were dropping it over time. So he was making less and less money.
Mm-hmm.
So the less money he makes, the more he has to make someplace else.
Yep. And then he's got to divide his time. And his quality goes down because he's rushed. And
not to mention if he comes down ill. If he's in the hospital for a couple of weeks, that just throws everything off, which is what we probably just went through.
Mm. Yeah, because you were saying that he was sick. So, I mean, that would make
know
sense.
He was ill and sometime during this run, he got really ill, and he had to have a lot of people come in and fill in order to keep the strip running. Because you can't turn the deadline away. You just can't. Yeah. So that's probably the patch we just went through.
So what you do is you bring in Nick Fury.
Yep.
Nick Fury can save us.
Yeah.
I assumed that it was to do with him taking a break and he's not in the flow of things, but it could be definitely because he's sick. Because if you look at the original, that's why I said the comparative analysis. Look at the first stuff and it's spot on, and then though personally I have to admit that I don't have enough experience to be like, okay, this is better than that. So
well,
the experts.
The big thing too with these newspaper syndicates, one of the biggest problems that I've read that they have is these syndicates will start out like gangbusters, really promote the hell out of a strip, get it in a bunch of papers, and then once it's rolling, they're on to the next strip. They're on to promoting the next strip. So the newspapers, after a while, just get tired of the strips or whatever, and they drop it off. So you have a level of attrition. The farther on your syndication runs, the less money you're making.
Third time's a charm.
Oh, God damn it,
Scott!
And the strips that they're doing. I mean,
are you back?
They're talking about it before.
I would seriously love to see Scott Rosemer on South Park. I think that would be brilliant.
They were talking about it before, about how newspapers were shrinking the size of
hamsters.
The panels or the strips, and eventually something like this would probably have to go because it's taking up so much space. I mean, that's costing them money to buy this from a syndication.
All depends on how much they're paying for it. If they're paying the same price as a single tier strip, they're probably happy to do it because it's taking up so much space.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he saw that
two for the price of one.
Yeah.
Who was the other artist that stepped in?
Howard Chaykin.
That was a number.
Yeah. So maybe he saw Chaykin's work, and then he's like, well, if he's going to do it, I'm going to do it too. Save some time.
Well, Chaykin was a student.
I always thought that was so forward thinking that he did these as basically half pages of a comic page. So if you ever want to put them in an actual book, you could just stack one on top of the other.
Yeah, we looked at the original that was on sale at Heritage, and the originals were done 10 tall by 15 wide. So they're a comic page set on their side.
Oh yeah.
Can you imagine going to an
That's
artist,
how large he's working.
Going to a sequential artist now and being like, I just want half a page.
Yeah, man.
Well, on this too, he might have cut his drawing space down.
That's true.
He might have just cut a comic page in half and started using that, and that would explain why they're a little bit more open, a little bit more rushed looking.
Yeah, I can see that.
Than his previous stuff. He's working smaller.
That's definitely possible.
Is there any indication that he's? Go ahead.
I do like the asteroid thing that he has at the asteroid colony or whatever it is. I think it does look kind of neat.
It does.
But I would prefer to have seen it like if you'd done that like in an earlier strip, because I think that you would have we would have had cooler camera angles and better detailing.
Yeah.
I was saying earlier that if there any indication that he's speeding up his like time here, or like quicker strokes or any sort of thing like that.
Not that I can see in the inking, at least. But he would be getting a little thicker if he was working smaller, I would imagine. The line weight would be thicker.
Yeah.
That's a really nice.
That would have been up to the inkers. What's that? They had
really nice panel there. A lot of nice detail there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. No, who wrote this? Did Kane write it too, or no?
No, I think Kane plotted it. Goulart scripted and wrote it.
Yeah. Ron Goulart, right? Man,
we're back a lot tighter. Here, he might have somebody different inking over top of him. Doesn't look like Chaykin at all. Could be Ernie.
Might be doing it himself.
Might be doing it himself, yeah.
Trying to pick it back up because it lost its way, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Was this ever collected in a comic book format?
Blackthorn did it way back during the late 80s. did it in like prestige format type collections. It was collected in a let me do a reach here.
IDW owns it now.
They put it in regular paperbacks there for a while and printed it sideways.
Oh, no kidding. Huh.
Yeah, IDW owns it now, so I don't know if they've
IDW's been
released
reprinting them. And I imagine they're reprinting an entire strip on a page. I don't have them, but I would imagine that's what they're doing.
This is one for Russ just before you turn it over. Russ, see that Nick Fury guy in the first strip?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think that's based on Derek Akora?
Derek Akora.
Do you know Derek Akora?
No,
The,
go on.
the most haunted guy.
Oh, God.
What, him?
No, I'm telling you now, I've been here before.
Yeah.
There's a spirit in the room.
Check out most haunted for the funniest thing you'll ever see. He's a psychic. He's dead now, but he's a psychic who would surprisingly turned out to be a fake.
What a shock.
Surprisingly.
Psychic fake? Who would have thought?
Yeah. Eek. Well, we're closing in on 2 hours, so why don't we stick a fork in this?
Yeah.
You want to do it? Do we want to keep going for another episode, or shall we move on?
I could move on.
Yeah.
We can always buy the book, this if we ever want to really take a look at it.
Fork.
Absolutely.
I think we should move on.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
sticking a fork in it, folks. That's it.
Obviously, you guys can only take so much of me, so we should probably, call it a day. I mean, it's just, too much, really.
Dealing with too much awesomeness from Scott Roseman is a difficult thing.
And I've tried to dial it back. I really have.
I can imagine. I know that you're that. I know how much you love everybody and how considerate you
You're
are.
hearing an echo again. I think I better mute him. So,
The thing is about Scott is that he's got the right idea that he should leave people wanting more, but he doesn't actually turn up in the first place to let people want more.
If you look at something and there's nothing there, what's the difference of figuring out what it was in the first place?
if you look for Scott and he's not there,
there you go.
What are you going to do?
Every time I hear him, my brain cells commit suicide.
Oh no, and you can't, and you've got so few to spare too. I mean, that's
You're right.
You could do one with Gary Busey saying, "Well, what's the point of Scott Roseman? You got to eat him backwards."
Yes, Scott Roseman is the only guy I know who can eat a burrito backwards.
That would make him a spiritual guru.
So this is the divine intervention. You could become a spiritual guru on your own, but you just have to tie your shoes, and you just have to know how to eat burritos backwards.
More left.
Oh, Dad. He's all. That's where my dad's at. That's awesome.
Starhawks, folks, by the great Gil Kane and Ron Goulart. We'll be looking at something different next time. We've spent the last 2 episodes of Sunday Funnies looking at this great syndicated strip. If you want to see those are archived over at Comic Book Black Belt YouTube channel, the Randy Zim YouTube channel, but most especially over at the Indie Comics Network YouTube channel. You can take a look at those and a lot of the other programs that we've done over the last year and a half, 2 years now that we've had Sunday Funnies rolling over at ICN. So go over there and enjoy yourself.
I spoke with my brother about the Robert E. Howard stuff. He's more than willing to come on. Need to pick a day.
Cool.
Wow. Absolutely. That'll be great.
Got a strange growth.
So he's available for Sundays?
Yeah, you can do it on a Sunday morning. He's no problem with it. I mentioned it to him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll happily come on and talk about Robert E. Howard and H.P. Lovecraft and stuff."
So where is he now then?
Fun.
We were doing Starhawks.
We can talk about something else. You don't have to talk about Robert E. Howard.
All right, so we are doing an 8-hour thing. I'll shoot him a message.
He's doing a roser, isn't he? He's saying he'll turn up and he doesn't.
Yeah,
I think right after the first of the year, I want to do a month or 2 just on the Barbarians.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
He would be great to come on then if he is willing. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, we're on a build up to our book. You see? So.
Yes, that too.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I'll
hashtag tell him, always be promoting. Brian K. Morris, where are you after all? So there you are. Starhawks, folks, Indie Comics Network, Randy Zim channel. and comic book black belt. Scott, tell
Yes.
people where they can find you.
Well, I'm here every day, every week. Over on Facebook, I loiter around there every so often, and various conventions. Starting next year, going to do my usual route where I'll bring the circus to town, and you can find me there. Just keep an eye out, an ear out for convention news, and I'll be there.
What's your next show? Do you know?
Oh, next show is be the first of the year. I'll be at Elkhart at the Hall of Heroes Comic Convention.
Is that
Great
in March?
show, by the way. Great show. And that'll be the first weekend in March. I think March 4th and 5th.
Yeah.
So that'll be good. That'll be a good one.
There's a Midland Mall show I'm going to be at.
The same weekend. I want to go to both.
I keep promising Paul I'd show up there, and last year the weather was horrible. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, and real quick, I wanted to say, Glenn.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have to zoom on me. I saw that picture you posted with you standing next to that great car.
Not my car.
No, but I thought to myself, geez, what a beautifully preserved antique.
Yeah.
And I thought the car looked nice too.
Thank you.
No.
Thank you.
You let me loose. You
Saw
give me a
that
minute.
coming.
I've had worse. I can take. I'm sure I've got worse coming, so I can take it.
How dare you?
Max, tell folks how they can find you.
Oh man, it's real easy. You just drop by atrocitypress.com and it's got all of our social media links. It's got all of our news a week before we drop it on social media. And it's most importantly, it's got our shop where you can buy all of our cool books and our merch.
Sweet. Whiskey, tell folks how they can find you.
Sure, you can find me on the old X there. Still working up to get my own website, but I make action figures and 3D models. You can take a look at that. Send me a message if you need something made. And I'm working on a comic called Driftwood with Renzo Rodriguez on the pencils and inks. I'm writing the story.
Oh, that's
nice. Story about necromancers.
There we are.
That's
Thank
your
you.
artwork there? That
No,
wagon
that's
and everything?
the 3D stuff is mine.
Wow, nice.
I need to talk to you then.
Oh yeah, anytime.
Because we had somebody do 3D models of our characters that we were going to create molds for and then do our own statues and then paint them and sell them. But the guy who did the 3D models fucked them all up. They're just totally chewed up.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
there's a particular skill set required for like knowing the minimum feature thickness and stuff for production and how you're going to produce it, whether you're going to recast it or
They need a particular set of
3D
skills.
print it. Well, you need
Ridiculous.
industry knowledge. Right?
I will find you.
The acrylic
And I
they were
will kill
trying
you.
to put into the molds didn't fucking go into the molds all the way. So
Oh.
it just ended up the legs looked all wonky and it
Yeah.
was just a disaster. So far it's
man.
been a disaster.
Sorry to hear that, man.
Yeah,
It's
just
been an expensive disaster too.
send me a message. You know where to find me.
Yep.
Allison, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me right here every Sunday with these pleasant gentlemen. I use the term very loosely.
And me too.
Ooh.
We're all loose.
And sometimes
Scott,
not.
Sometimes, Scott.
And Fridays, 3 p.m., doing arting with the Alley Cat. So I'll be back to doing that this week. I took November off because I was busy and had other things to do. So yeah.
It's like everybody else is taking December off.
Yep. No, well, Thanksgiving I do
I'll
a
be
lot.
back here.
So
Yeah.
that's about it.
Cool. Russ, tell folks how they can find you.
And where's
yeah,
that pussy on your shoulder?
Yeah, it's gone. Sorry, I had it surgically
What?
removed.
Yeah, it was
What,
normally-
what,
What hump? Normally you can find me via Spy Satellite, but if not, you can go to russleach.com and sign up for the email list because the artwork that's up on the screen at the moment is part of what we're doing. Randy and I, we're producing a classic We're adapting Robert E. Howard's This Shadow Kingdom, and it's made a little bit of a a hook, as it were. So I'm going to be doing lots more of that kind of stuff in the future.
It's looking cool too.
So thank you. So what you need to do is to find out about what we're doing in the future, and this book, which will be crowdfunding in the new year. Come find out at russleach.com. You can get all my social media connections from there, all that kind of stuff. But sign up for the email list so that we can tell you more. Zoom in a little bit on this while I'm here. If I can find the button.
You can do it.
Go.
That's what she
said.
There we go. That's what she said. So this is the bit where he kills his first lizard person. And
lizard people.
Lizard people, there you go.
Oh, look at that.
It's one in the chest.
I like the blacks you've done on this work.
I'm really pleased with that.
Really
it's a nice page there.
Really solid and
that looks good.
Look at that.
And, that's definitely the Sumerian.
That guy walking up the steps is great.
That's what we're aiming for. We're aiming for that kind of stuff. And,
just go back one.
A few centuries before the Sumerian, it's the Atlantean. Yeah, Valusia, King of Valusia.
That's funny. Lizard person was my nickname in college.
That doesn't surprise me.
Oh, you silly, simple bastard.
So you want to find out more about that, go to russleach.com, sign up for the email address, for the email list, and check me out on social medias there, russleach.com.
That's a panel you got there in the middle where the gentleman's pushing the button, right?
Pushing the button
on the wall panel.
He's pushing on a panel. Yeah.
That's right.
Very excellent.
Thank you. Yeah, it came out really well there because I had to think about where everything was in the room and made a little plan of the room so that every time I did an angle, I knew exactly where everything was.
I had to do the same thing.
Yeah.
When I did the thing, it's like, how's that going to work? Okay. Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
You can find me on this program on Fridays and Sundays with Randy and guests.
Whenever you can put up with us.
And Scott Rosemer occasionally. If you go to newhavenpublishing.com, you'll be able to purchase a copy of my book about my visit to see Jack Kirby. This is also available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and all the best places. If you go to Amazon as well, you can pick up a copy of my magazine, my 100-page sort of quarterly magazine about comics. We cover art with lots of articles and interviews and lots of artwork, and doing well. And also, if you go to fundmycomic.com, you'll be able to get a copy of my Hatch annotated book, which is all about my little character Hatch. It tells you all about his origins and where he came from and what he's up to and what he's doing, featuring lots and lots of artwork, 100 pages on that one. And you can also get Hatch sketchbook, which shows just pencil drawings and rough sketches of him, which way we're going now, with the wrong way around. There we go. It's just drawings. There's no text in it. It's just drawings. Whether you can see that or not.
It's pretty bleached out off your camera, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'm going to work on it. I'm going to get a new camera for Christmas. Fundmycomic.com.
Cool.
Awesome.
Folks, I've been your host, Randy Zimmerman. You can find me over at arrowcomics.store, where you can find such works as Calico of Shard. It's a great fantasy title with artwork by C. Michael Lanning. Paragon, which is a superhero story with a fantastic twist at the end of it. I'm really proud of this book with artwork by J.R. Harris. Hope you go over there and check that out. We have 2 issues of HeroBot Zero available, 1 and 2, and issue 2 has got a cover by somebody named Scott Rosema. It's the adventures of a 3'2". Well, we put up with it. It's a 3'2", or 3'2". It's a 3 foot tall giant robot as he defends his city from large monsters and other menaces, as long as he can do it on the clock and get time and a half for overtime. And starting in probably March, if not March, then definitely in April, I will be bringing HeroBot with me to shows, just to show off. And thanks to my brother. He's done some phenomenal work.
Oh,
Plus,
I can't wait to see
we
that
have
in person.
we have the Fool available still. We are fulfilling that campaign now. Chrome Dog has gone to press. We have Fool copies here. Those will be going out real shortly. If you haven't already received it, you will be receiving it incredibly soon. So we deeply appreciate everybody there. And of course, there's Talos. More of the mustached Talos.
Handlebar mustaches.
There we are. Next week, I think next Sunday, we'll look at this Wally Wood book I got.
Yes.
The Marvel Comics art. The Marvel Comics art of Wally Wood.
Oh, so good.
We'll look at his short run on Doctor Doom, as well as a few other fantasy stories. Then on Friday, Comics by Night, 5 a.m. Eastern Time. Every Friday, we look at some great sequential artwork. And this week, we're going to be looking at the Flash Gordon movie adaptation by the great Al Williamson.
Oh,
Flash.
I don't think I've ever
say that
seen
too
that.
loud; they'll strike us. So gotta be careful. Gotta be careful with your ahs.
Gordon's alive.
Gordon's alive. Yes, I love that movie. My first daughter, my oldest daughter, we had that on tape, the Flash Gordon movie, and we would play it quite often because it's a great movie. Until she started running around the house quoting Prince Baron when he was looking at Aura, and she started going "lying bitch" all over the place. So of all the phrases to catch on that movie, she caught that one really good.
Didn't know you were into necrophilia.
Oh, just
awesome.
Insane. Just
I remember
lying bitch. Like, oh.
I remember when my kid was real little. He was like 3 or 4. He just started talking and stuff. And we were sitting in the back of the car, and he had a drink in his hand, and he dropped it, and it just went everywhere. And he just looks down, and you see the look on his face is exasperation, and he just goes, "Son of a bitch." And I'm like, well, you used it properly, so I don't know if I should be mad at you or not.
It's like this kid.
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
That's one of my whole movies. My mom's got that.
All right, folks, thanks so much for watching us. We do this because we love it. We love showing off this kind of artwork. And if you get a chance, go visit your local retailer and take a look at those boxes closest to the floor. That might be a little dusty. You'd be surprised at what great, phenomenal sequential art there is out there. Don't let the modern stuff that these big companies are doing discourage you. There's some phenomenal sequential art out there waiting to be discovered. Most of it's timeless.
Yeah,
so, and
bring
well
back
worth
to
your
life
time.
your cold, dead heart with this beautiful stuff. It's awesome.
There you are. That's what we do. That's why we're here. Oh, and look at that. Hang on.
Oh
Boom.
Man.
There we go. Oh, look at that.
Oh, good.
That's really good. That's amazing.
Who drew that?
That's Russ's stuff.
That's me.
Russ's work.
You did
that.
Next.
So
you drew.
So you put yourself through that drawing 50 people.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it makes good comics.
Yeah. That's why my artist always gets on my ass when I'll draw. I'll be like, okay, it's a crowd scene. He's like, can I just zoom in real close?
Yeah, the writer tells you that the hordes of the evil emperor came across the hills in their thousands as the heroes stood and looked on in awe. And you're like, oh shit.
Exactly.
God damn it.
So there was
We're gonna do that Bran McMorn story that's all takes place all during the battle when Cull pops in at the as a ghost up on a far hill with all of the battle legions. It'll all be done in 2-page spreads. So
yeah, that'll be done at some point. Yes.
Man.
That's a special.
I was looking at I think it's Michael Bancroft, the one that did
Russ is one crazy son of a bitch.
You're familiar with that guy, the guy that did Lucent comic, right? And he did an image of an Eiffel Tower, And at first glance, it just looks like the Eiffel Tower, but then you zoom into it, and it's every single beam on the thing, and he's rendered it, and it's just, and every single light in the city in the background, and it's bloody ridiculous.
Because he wanted to. Yep. That's how much people love this art form, you know. I want to take the time to do the best stuff that they can. Folks, we wish you the best. Please try to leave this industry in better shape than what you found it. Remember that hating ain't creating. Get out there and do the work. You know?
Right on.
That's right.
Get out or get on with it. There we are. Well, folks, we'll see you Friday morning, 5 a.m. for Comics by Night on the Indie Comics Network, and then back again Sunday morning at 9 a.m. for more Sunday Funnies. Right here where you're watching now. We deeply appreciate everybody that watches us after the fact, because we know the majority of our viewers pop in after we've already recorded this. I just want to say that we do appreciate you very much, and don't be afraid to leave a comment if you're watching us on YouTube. If there's somebody that you want us to cover that we haven't covered yet, we will be more than happy to consider it. So
or stop in sometime.
Or stop by sometime. Yes, you can always find me on Facebook. We have a group discussion on Facebook where I leave the links. So if you can get on Facebook, find me, and if you want to be part of the program and you're part of this industry, you are more than welcome to join in. So, and we love your opinions. So as long as you're not talking about buttered sausage.
Let's talk about buttered sausage. Talk about buttered sausage, where it comes from, what it does. Why is it doing what it's doing? Get it out of my face. Buttered sausage. It's not my jam. I don't buy jam. I buy honey, and I kiss it on the lips.
Buttered sausage.
That guy.
That is awesome.
Folks, see you soon. Take care. Thanks for watching.
That's Vidania.
See ya.
Have a question or comment for us to address on the show? Have a topic you want us to talk about? Email us at indiecomicsnetwork@gmail.com. Want your comics?
Bye, Jack. We really shook the pillars of heaven, didn't we, Wayne?
No horseshit, Jack.
No horseshit.